What are you doing climbing out of that computer monitor? You thief? You criminal with no face? Hidden Agenda, a post-revolutionary game. I haven't played this game in a really long time, but this right here, this entire playthrough is for Slaxer. We'll see what happens here. This is one of the most text-heavy games I could find. It's going to give us a lot of different choices, trying to lead our country through a revolution and then ensuring that there's some stability for the population. I'll probably be a horrible ruler and make horrible decisions, but we'll see. Our first name's going to be Jack, Jackson, Emmanuel. Probably spelled Emmanuel. I don't know if that's spelled right or not, but we'll take it. I don't want to spend too much time thinking about that. A crowd of reporters presses towards us, and President Jackson one calls. There has been much talk recently of the need for justice. Which of these would be most important in achieving a more just society? Protect citizens from violent repression, eliminate government corruption, ensure the free distribution of information. I think we should ensure the free distribution of information. Free information will hopefully be the best disinfectant to eliminating government corruption, as well as protecting citizens from violent repression. Another reporter pushes to the front and raises her hand. Everyone agrees that we must develop our nation's economy, but what should be the first priority of this development effort? Promoting the growth of the economy, distributing the nation's wealth equitably, protecting the free movement of capital. I think the free movement of capital should be fine. If you've got money, you should be able to freely move it wherever you want in the country, to whatever business you would like, to whoever you would like. I'm not sure what repercussions that'll have. Hopefully there's not a whole lot of crime that comes along with that. A third reporter raises his hand. Thank you, President. One more thing. Which of the following will the Jackson administration work hardest to improve? Infrastructure such as roads and utilities, services for the city dwellers, or living standards for the rural poor? Well, how can we really choose one or the other there? That's kind of choosing sides and pitting one against the other. We're all a nation here, and it takes both the rural folks as well as the city folks. So we'll do infrastructure in the hopes that both sides will be able to, I guess, communicate and move goods between themselves easier. Be better for the whole country. In the first year of your presidency, the harvest season ends and the dry season begins. Now the first thing we have to do is set up our party cabinet. And let's see, the party dossiers. These are the three parties that we can choose from. We've got the Christian Reform Party with their 3 candidates. We've got the National Liberation Party with their 3 candidates. And the Popular Stability Party with their 3 candidates. Here we are. So what should we do? Where do I see my openings? Right here in the encounters, this is where we'll be walking through to meet with the countryside people, meet with the businesses, other ambassadors, foreign delegates and stuff like that. I don't have any of the, how do I set those up? Contacts, party dossiers, minister dossiers. I don't have any of them set up. I know that. So we'll go to the National Liberation, Gloria Jimenez Fleming. We'll read her biography first. You can pause it and read the description of the party if you want. So Gloria, her history is a national liberation, daughter of a doctor, a professor of sociology at National University of Chimerica, published a book-length analysis of the Chimerican peasantry, contributing editor of the French Marxist journal Dialogue Dialectique, forced to go underground when university shut down by the Farsant Guard, sub-commander of an important raid on Guardia headquarters which gave her prominence in the growing revolt. She's 36 years old. In her articles and books, Jimenez has advocated forceful land reform aimed at helping the landless, bringing army officers guilty of human rights abuses to justice, increasing attention to the health care needs of the poor, and closer relations with socialist nations. Now, I really don't want her talking. We will appoint her, but I don't want her on external affairs because I don't want her having closer relations with socialist nations. I'm going to try to limit my external influences as much as possible, but I also don't want forceful land reform. Maybe I don't want her. Increased attention to healthcare needs. Actually, I don't really want her on my party. Julio. National Liberation. Grew up in a well-to-do family. Since taking his vows, has been a tireless advocate for the rights of the poor. Gave refuge to the underground opposition during the insurrection. Narrowly escaped arrest on numerous occasions. A well-known writer and exponent of liberation theology. After admonishment from the Vatican against direct involvement in political affairs, left the Society of Jesus in order to devote his full energies to the service of my people, as he calls them. He has an obvious God complex, but he does care about the people of his nation. He's 39 years old, and in his writings and sermons he has called for sweeping land reform to help the poorest Chimericans to help themselves, curbing the abusive power of the military, a nationwide campaign to teach the poor to read, and reducing dependency on larger nations. I'm going to appoint him to our External Affairs Minister. Probably be a horrible choice, but oh well. I welcome this new opportunity to serve my country with a deep sense of humility. I will endeavor to prove myself equal to the task. We're going to go back here and grab Manuel Calderon, too. He's got a good history. Commandant of the guerrilla forces, led several of the most important victories of the insurrection, moved to the capital at a young age from a rural village, and became active in the resistance while still a teenager. He was jailed and tortured repeatedly by the Farsant dictatorship, including a 4-year stint in Toluco prison. He's known as one of the most level-headed and pragmatic of the revolutionary leaders. He's 34 years old, even though he doesn't look it. He looks much older for his age. In clandestine radio addresses during the insurrection to topple France, Commandant Calderon called for sweeping land reform to share wealth and power with the poorest Americans, integration of the Revolutionary Army with progressive elements of the old army, promotion of nationalist ideology, and non-alignment in foreign affairs. He is a very powerful figure, I think. We're going to put him as our defense minister. We have come a long way, but a hard road still stretches out before us. So now we're going to have to choose some people from Christian Reform and Popular Stability, and that's awful. I don't like either of those groups. You can read them right there. Let's see about Francesco Rosario. Popular Stability. Scion of one of the wealthiest families of Chimerica. Has extensive holdings in cotton and cattle. Grandson of Emilio Rosario, a long-ruling president, overthrown in a 1948 coup. Outspoken, temperamental, and ambitious. Eager to resume the family tradition of service and power. He obviously thinks that he's God's gift to humanity. He's never known hardship, a silver spoon in his mouth his entire life. He encourages direct foreign investment in agriculture. He wants other countries to own all of our food. Strengthening of armed forces, but without excessive foreign assistance. So he does want us to control our own military, but he doesn't want a whole lot of foreign aid there. Measures to stimulate industry and maintenance of close ties with the United States. So he doesn't want to get on their bad side. We're going to appoint him to Internal Affairs Minister. Though we will inevitably have our differences, President, on certain details of policy, I trust that our mutual love for this great country of ours will serve to guide us through the difficult days of trial and compromise ahead. I hope so for your sake, Francisco. I'm not going to go to the other group, to the Christian Liberation Front. Bernardo Whitemeyer, Popular Stability, with financial backing from his family, started a successful automobile import business. When the dictator's cousin insisted on becoming a partner in his enterprise, courageously, some say rather foolishly, objected, subsequently forced out of business, after undergoing conversion to an evangelical Protestant sect, entered politics as a spokesman for free trade and individual liberties. He's 47. In speeches and interviews he has spoken out in favor of encouragement of investment in large-scale mechanized agriculture projects, use of the military to re-establish order, elimination of all restraints on trade and investment, close ties with the United States and other Western nations. I like his ideas about agriculture, so we will appoint him to the Agriculture Minister. America needs us, President. Let us work together to make our land a place of prosperity, peace, and hope. That should be our cabinet, then. It's still year 1. It's a dry season. Let's save it. Name. Woo. Sorry about that. First save. I'll try to cut that out. I don't know if it actually got saved or not. There was a really loud sound when I backspaced. And in encounters. Now that we have our group set up, we can start going to encounters with the countryside. First thing I want to do, let's see, who should we talk to? We have a lot going on after the revolution, so let's talk to the army colonel. El Condor. Soldiers of Crack Rapid Response Group, the NRAC. We'll continue this encounter. Our defense minister will be there with us. Colonel Ehrlich welcomes you briskly and proceeds to make his case. It takes work and discipline and experience to run an army. Yet there are those who would cast aside the voices of experience and reason, and listen to young idealists who know only how to destroy. He fixes you with a penetrating stare. To succeed will require that we be given a free hand. Do you understand me? His proposal is to continue to support his efforts to discipline the army. Let's ask for advice.